People, welcome to Newspaper Breakdown, 21st to the 11th. I hope you had a weekend. News to get through, of course. You've got more fallout from the budget, because although Hunt has been able to find space in the budget to give a tax cut for banks, he seemingly was unable to find money to give children free school meals, with 800,000 children being denied free school meals because their parents earn more than £7,400 a year. That is less than you have to earn to actually start paying tax. That's how low the figure is. That's poverty there at that point. Cost of living crisis, it wouldn't even matter if we were in a cost of living crisis, because that is still fucking poverty. If you're earning that amount and you still have to pay, it's just ridiculous that we're able to find a tax cut for fucking banks. And I'm yet to see the banks go, lads, I tell you what we need. Oh, we are struggling. Fuck a duck. I can't even jump into me pot of gold anymore. Please give us some help. No, banks are absolutely fine. There's only one reason that you give banks tax cuts and screw over the poor, is because you're cruel. That's the only fucking reason. If you really wanted to cover the old black hole that's arbitrary number anyway, then I'd say swap it. Swap it. Don't do the tax cut for banks. Give the money to children so they can fucking eat. But you know, I'm a kooky fucker like that, ain't I? Fucking people. Mark Fulbrook, who is a corporate lobbyist and former chief of staff to Liz Truss, so you know, competent, holds a parliamentary pass giving him access to MPs and peers, which is fantastic for a lobbyist. It's what a lobbyist wants. It's not something that a government should allow, of course. It was sponsored by his wife, who is a former Tory MP and made a life peer by Boris Johnson, of course, in July 2020. It's a year after Mark Fulbrook ran Boris Johnson's leadership campaign. Once again, there's no such thing as conspiracy. You want to see corruption? It's all in front of you. They're not hiding it. They're not walking in the shadows. They're out in the light doing exactly what you think they're doing, screwing everything up. Corruption, nepotism, cronyism, everything. It's all there. Everything's there. And they're not even hiding it, for Christ's sake. That's how shit we are as people. That they don't even need to hide it. They do not require to be working in the shadows. There's no whispers in the back. It's just everyone there out in the open being corrupt, and we're just two stupid, ignorant, lazy pieces of waste that we don't do anything fucking about it because we can't. The pass makes it easier for him to access MPs and peers, of course, to lobby for his clients. And his clients, listen, if you're going to run Boris Johnson's campaign and be chief of staff to Liz Truss, you can bet that the other clients he's willing to work for aren't going to be charities. The pass he has was only meant to be used for social purposes, and you can pretend, if you wish, that that's what he's using it for, and he will say that that's what he uses it for, but I will put money now that that's not what he uses it for. I mean, you don't even have to have the lack of trust in humanity that I have to know that he's not doing that, for Christ's sake. Front pages over the weekend were awash with the potential discussions within the government with regards to changing our relationship with the EU, potentially adopting a Swiss-style relationship, which is a fucking deja vu, because that was along the lines of what Theresa May tried. That went shit, because the government are run by potentially 30 odd people in the ERG, which is the European Research Group, which is a group of Tory MPs who don't have a brain cell to share between them. A bigoted bunch of human waste. Suella Braverman used to be the head of the ERG, and Mark Francois is also a member, and I think Jacob Rees-Mogg. So if you want to know what they're like, there's your three to know it. Sunak has come out since and said that under my leadership, the UK will not pursue any relationship with Europe that relies on alignment with EU law, going on to say that Brexit will deliver enormous benefits for British people. It won't. It won't, it hasn't. It's still a lie, it's still a con, we're still being screwed over. And until we admit it, and you've got those tiny dick fuckers in this country who sing about Brexit like we all knew what was happening. You've got Leave and Remain. There was no... I'm not even going into it. Fuck everyone. Fuck them all who voted for it. Fuck them. Tedious bastards. Rain cancellations have reached near highs, which is good news for those who like to go near the whistle stop. With more than 314,000 trains fully or partially cancelled across Great Britain in a year. More than doubled since 2015, which is when the records were started to take. Now 1 in 26 of all train journeys are being have been delayed or cancelled to the 15th of in the year to the 15th of October. Ministers have been accused of rewarding abject failure, with firms such as Avanti West Coast in line to receive a 7-figure performance bonus, despite abandoning proportionally more journeys than any other operator. This is the reason why privatisation doesn't work especially for trains, because you've only got one line, so there's no competition there. And we can't pick a different thing, can we? If you've only got one line, there's only one train you can get. Only one people run that train. If they're shit, which they all are, every single one of them are, it doesn't improve, because the government, although these private firms like Avanti West Coast and whatnot, although they're all paid a flat fee, they also get bonuses based on performance, and it doesn't matter how bad the performance is, they will still get the bonus. Labour have said they're going to privatise or nationalise, that would be the word, wouldn't it, you dickhead? Nationalise the train railways once the deals with Current are out. Whether or not they do that, I mean, it looks like an easy win, doesn't it, really? I mean, we should be asking the government that if they think they're that incompetent that they can't run trains as well as these shitheads. Over for the Qatari World Cup, which has started the other day, first match for England today, with a threat of sporting sanctions by FIFA. England, Wales, Belgium, Germany, Denmark, the Netherlands and Switzerland have all confirmed that they will not wear the One Love armband at the World Cup in Qatar. FIFA also threatened that their captains could be booked and forced to leave the pitch. This is the we're in everything together. This is all us Qataris. It's a great place to have a World Cup. You've got all of these shitheads. You've got, like, the BBC are doing a half decent go of it, of bringing to the fore the fact that although football and politics are two different things, they do mix. Because politics is everywhere. Politics will always be everywhere. That's what politics is. Every decision made by politicians affects us. Our day-to-day life, you get on a train, it's political, whether or not it goes or not. Everything, the cost of anything, that's political. It's all political. Politics is ingrained in us. And this isn't even a massive thing, is it? The One Love armband, one person on, like, so you'll have two people on the pitch wearing a One Love armband. If one of these 7 countries play together, you'd have two, otherwise you'd have one person wearing a One Love armband. It's not exactly fucking the suffragettes, is it, at this point? And this is it. FIFA may be the most corrupt organisation in the world, and they're dealing, and the problem is they run the most popular sport in the world. It's their power is the only plus point that can possibly occur is if Qatar lose every fucking game. And that's the only plus point you can look at, because there's no other win to be had here. There isn't. You had I can't remember the station, but it was Gary Neville, John Terry, and Andy Gray as the pundits, with Richard Key as the presenter, and they were all going, "Oh yeah, we need to." We need to praise and honour the people who built these stadiums. At no point mentioning the thousands of them that they're honouring who are fucking dead. Not doing that, not mentioning that fucking thing. I don't know what goes through people's minds. It makes no sense to me. Like, you can argue that going there, bringing, if you go there you can raise awareness, but you can't even do that. Because FIFA get involved and say you can't do it, we'll sanction you. Over in the US, there's another mass shooting by a dickhead, with at least 5 people killed in a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs. At least 2 patrons subdued the little cunt, showing more bravery than US police in a school shooting, of course. This coincides with the Qatari World Cup, I think, quite well, because if you continue to not allow people to stand up for what is right, equality is right. Equality is right. It just is. There's no even argument for that. I do not believe. But if you continue to allow hate to push through Twitter and everything else, Trump has just got back onto Twitter, although Elon Musk has not allowed Alex Jones back onto Twitter, which everyone, it's useful to know where everyone's line is. I think it's the same with comedians when they talk about free speech. When a comedian says, and they tend to be the only right-wing comedian in the world, or whatever the fuck they call themselves, free speech thinkers, or free thinkers, or free speech warriors, or whatever tedious wank they call themselves, they all have lines that they are unwilling to cross. Difference is normally their lines is, you can't say anything about me. That's where their line on free speech stops. But if you continue to allow hate aimed directly at someone in this day and age, more than previous, I think, because of how quickly things can spread, and the internet being a place where sadness turns to extremism quite easily, because loneliness can be hidden in a group where, if I'm talking with all of these little tedious bores, then I'm in their group and I do not feel as lonely because I'm in a community. And it just happens that most of these communities tend to be toxic, and you grow your hate inside, and someone will end up picking up a fucking AR-15, which seems to come in every fucking Kinder Egg. I know Kinder Eggs are banned in the US, but you get the idea. They'll go to somewhere where they think that it's not right, because they've been in their fucking little hovels online being radicalised by other tedious bores, and they'll start killing people. That's what happens. We've seen it time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. What happens when you allow hate to spread? Finally, in the UK, we'll end. A new study from academics at the Heriot Watt Uni in Edinburgh have found that 1 in 3 black people who have experienced homelessness have also faced racial discrimination from a landlord, which is 6 times more than the general population of those who have struggled for shelter. Also found that black-led households reporting discrimination also face a risk of homelessness nearly 50% greater than white households hold. Once again, goes in with gay, goes in with fucking trans, it goes in with everything. The continual push towards hate and the unwillingness to admit that there is a fundamental racial just bigotry, not even just racial, all bigotry into one big massive shit. If we're unwilling to admit it, then nothing will ever change. It just can't happen. It can't change, and it won't change, especially when you've got people so scared of losing votes from wannabe nationalist, tedious fuck wankers. It's never going to change, is it? Right, that's all the news for today. I'm gigging later on, so I've got to write some stuff for that. Hope you have a good one. Catch you tomorrow. Bye.